Hello, my name is Raiwe, a co-founder at Hugh Solutions, a business analyst, and a product manager. Today we'll be discussing AI ethics, building smarter, kinder, and fairer tech. As a case study, we'll be looking at a company in Nigeria that is currently transforming the lending space through inclusive innovation. Let's watch the next video to learn more about LendSquare.
Did you know AI could change how Nigerians access credit forever? Have you ever been rejected after applying for a loan because you didn't have a credit history or the right bank statements? What if AI could change that? What if AI could tell if you would repay a loan just by hearing your voice? That is exactly what Nigerian startup LendSquare is working on. Now, instead of filling out forms and submitting documents, you can just answer a few questions about your job and how you plan to pay back. Here's the catch. Using just your voice and a short video, then the AI analyzes your voice to predict if you are likely to pay back. It's already 76% accurate, and the goal is to help everyday Nigerians access small loans from 30k to 50k, especially those who do not have access to a formal banking system. LendSquare even plans to make their findings public and test the products in countries like Canada for immigrants and students who often struggle to access credit due to a lack of local credit history. But until it hits 90% accuracy, they're still testing and watching carefully to make sure the tech works fairly and safely. It's early days, sure, but AI might just become the key to unlocking credit for those who have been locked out for so long.
Now that we've learned about LendSquare, you can all agree with me that it is an innovative solution that is solving a unique problem in Nigeria. However, what are the perceived risks, if any? Before we discuss LendSquare, let's talk about ethical AI. What is ethical AI really? In a nutshell, ethical AI simply means building AI that respects and cares for human values, building AI systems that aligns with our values, rights, and dignity. Just as we have in a social context, ethics simply means morally acceptable ways of doing things. You might be asking, how do I build ethical AI? Well, there are principles and practices that would guide you into ensuring you are building ethical AI. And one of these key principles is fairness. Fairness simply means that you are building a system that is not biased. As a developer, how do you ensure that you're building systems that do not discriminate? It first starts with your data set. You need to ensure that your data set used to pre-train the model or fine-tune your large language models, it's all encompassing of different demographics, gender, race, including the minority group. The next principle is accountability. Who is responsible when AI makes mistakes? Before we even look at AI making mistakes, who wields the ring of power when it comes to making AI decisions within the organization? Transparency. This simply means documenting your processes. Understand the model outcome and the rationale behind the model's decision. Next, we would look at privacy. How is AI using, processing, and storing the data collected? What are the existing data privacy laws in Nigeria or even in the geographical location where you are deploying your solution? Do you have consent to collect these data? And for how long are you keeping these data sets for? The fifth principle that we would be looking at is inclusivity. This simply means AI for all. Remember, these principles and practices are not limited to these five that we have discussed. Basically, when you're building ethical AI, we're looking at an AI that does not ghost you, stalk you, or judge your face. Just because AI can doesn't mean that it should. Remember, it is your responsibility to ensure that the information that was used to pre-train or that is used to pre-train these models are free from bias. Just like any other system out there, the quality of the output is largely dependent on the quality of the data that was used to train or fine-tune these large language models. Back to our case study, LendSquare. LensSquare simply uses audios and visuals to determine who is credit-worthy. And this in itself could be a problem. Let's look at Iyawale, who urgently needs to borrow money to go and buy that basket of pepper. The AI could misinterpret the stress patterns in her voice as deceit as against someone who urgently needs to get money, or an Emeka that speaks slangs. What if AI decides or says that you are not creditworthy simply because you speak slangs? Then we have a big problem in our hands. Other concerns that I see: transparency. Can the users actually appeal or challenge the model outcome? Are they even aware that this data that's collected is being analyzed? How is this data stored? Moving forward, my recommendation to anyone building AI-powered system would be to ensure that you're mitigating most of these biases that we have discussed. Ensure you're building inclusive systems. And one way to achieve this is one, by ensuring that your data set is trained across diverse demographics. Two, within the organization, it is important to set an ethics committee or a team to ensure that your product and organizations are compliant with existing laws and regulations. Let's keep educating and sensitizing people on AI decision making. Remember, it is not AI versus humans, it is humans and AI. Whilst it is okay for AIs to make recommendations, the decision making should be left to humans. Thank you.